Welcome to Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story, where we answer the questions you have about your favorite classic authors. What inspired your favorite author to write their novels? What was going on in the world at the time? Follow along with us as we tell you what was happening in the world while your favorite authors wrote your favorite classics. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read, and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you enjoy our show, be sure to follow our show so you get all the new episodes. You can catch us on all the social medias at Bite at a Time Books, or on our website, biteatatimebooksbehindthestory.com. If you would also like to hear a story by the author we're currently featuring, check out the Bite at a Time Books podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Today we'll be talking about Victor Hugo's declining years and death. When Hugo returned to Paris in 1870, the country hailed him as a national hero. He was confident that he would be offered the dictatorship, as shown by the notes he kept at the time. Dictatorship is a crime. This is a crime I'm going to commit. But he felt he had to assume that responsibility. Despite his popularity, Hugo lost his bid for re-election to the National Assembly in 1872. Throughout his life, Hugo kept believing in unstoppable humanistic progress. In his last public address on 3 August 1879, he prophesied in an over-optimistic way, "In the 20th century, war will be dead, the scaffold will be dead, hatred will be dead, frontier boundaries will be dead, dogmas will be dead, man will live." Within a brief period, he suffered a mild stroke. His daughter Adele was interned in an insane asylum, and his 2 sons died. Adele's biography inspired the movie The Story of Adele H. His wife Adele had died in 1868. His faithful mistress, Juliette Drouet, died in 1883, only 2 years before his own death. Despite his personal loss, Hugo remained committed to the cause of political change. On 30 January 1876, he was elected to the newly created Senate. This last phase of his political career was considered a failure. Hugo was a maverick and achieved little in the Senate. He suffered a mild stroke on 27 June 1878. To honor the fact that he was entering his 80th year, he received one of the greatest tributes to a living writer ever held. The celebrations began on 25 June 1881, when Hugo was presented with a Sévère vase, the traditional gift for sovereigns. On 27 June, one of the largest parades in French history was held. Marchers stretched from the Avenue d'Alais, where the author was living, down to Camp Elise, all the way to the center of Paris. The paraders marched for 6 hours past Hugo as he sat at the window at his house. Every inch and detail of the event was for Hugo. The official guides even wore cornflowers as an allusion to Fantine's song in Les Miserables. On 28 June, the city of Paris changed the name of the Avenue d'Alais to Avenue Victor Hugo. Letters addressed to the author were from then on labeled to Mr. Victor Hugo. In his Avenue Paris, 2 days before dying, he left a note with these last words: "To love is to act." On 20 May 1885, Le Petit Journal published the official medical bulletin on Hugo's health condition. The illustrious patient was fully conscious and aware that there was no hope for him. They also reported from a reliable source that at one point in the night he had whispered the following Alexandrine: "En moi, c'est le combat du jour et de la nuit." In me, this is the battle between night and day. Le Matin published a slightly different version. Here is the battle between night and day. Hugo died on May 22, 1885, at 50 Avenue Victor Hugo, now number 124. His death from pneumonia generated intense national mourning. He was not only revered as a towering figure in literature, he was a statesman who shaped the Third Republic and democracy in France. All his life, he remained a defender of liberty, equality, and fraternity, as well as an adamant champion of French culture. In 1877, aged 75, he wrote, "I am not one of these sweet-tempered old men. I am still exasperated and violent. I shout, and I feel indignant, and I cry. Woe to anyone who harms France. I do declare I will die a fanatic patriot." Although he had requested a pauper's funeral, by decree of President Jules Grévy, he was awarded a state funeral, an event described by Nietzsche as a veritable orgy of bad taste. More than 2 million people joined Hugo's funeral procession in Paris from the Arc de Triomphe to the Pantheon, where he was buried. He shares a crypt within the Pantheon with Alexandre Dumas and Émile Zola. Most large French towns and cities have a street or square named after him. Hugo left 5 sentences as his last will to be officially published. I leave 50,000 francs to the poor. I wish to be buried in their hearse. I refuse funeral orations from all churches. I ask for a prayer to all souls. I believe in God. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story today. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back next time when we answer more questions about one of your favorite classic authors. If you enjoyed our show, be sure to follow us so you get all the new episodes. We would also love for you to drop us a rating on your favorite podcast platform. You can catch us on all the social medias at Bite at a Time Books, or check out our website, biteatatimebooksbehindthestory.com. Our show is part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you would also like to hear a story by the author we are currently featuring, check out the Bite at a Time Books podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, or on biteatatimebooks.com.